WUSA 9 Weather Impact is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Good Monday morning. I'm meteorologist Joe Spear. Not looking too bad here to start off this week. Temperatures at the very least are going to be fairly comfortable. Skies not bad either. We're still trying to get rid of some of that smoke, but again, each day is going to get better and better with that. But by the time we head into tomorrow, we are looking at the chance of seeing some fairly strong storms working back into the forecast, but that's about the only hiccup that we have for this week. This week looks pretty nice aside from some of those storms. So by the time we get closer towards the second half of this week, should be back on track with some of that nice weather once again. Numbers not too bad as you're walking out the door this morning. A fairly early check of temperatures. A lot of us are waking up in the 60s to 70s outside, 73 in D.C., 66 over in Manassas. A little cooler, we're right at 60 up in Frederick, Maryland. As far as how things are looking throughout the rest of this morning, getting a little cooler before we do start to get warmer. We're looking at a nice healthy mixture of sunshine and clouds throughout today. So it's not going to be super bright, but it's not going to be super overcast either. We're mostly keeping that pattern here throughout the majority of your Monday. Temperatures at their highest are going to be lifting up into the mid-80s. So we are a few degrees below average for this time of year, but July in general is looking like it's trying to stay a little cooler to end off this month. A nice relief from the hundreds from how we started off July earlier this week or earlier a couple weeks ago. Temperatures at their highest today, about 86 in D.C., 85 over in Baltimore, 86 in a lot of places. It'll be a little warmer for a few of us in Northern Virginia. Front Royal, you're trying to get up to about 88 degrees by the end of today. I want to skip ahead to tomorrow, given that we do have a chance of seeing some stronger storms back in the forecast. One or two light little rounds heading into the early morning hours of tomorrow, but most of our activity is starting to work in towards the afternoon and into the early evening. And it is going to come with a little bit more of a heightened risk of strong to severe weather at this time. Most areas in D.C., the majority of Maryland, some parts of the middle of Virginia are going to stay under a 2 out of 5 risk of strong to severe weather. But if you're northwest of the city, that's far northern Virginia, most of western Maryland as well, and parts of West Virginia, that is going to increase to a 3 out of 5 risk of strong to severe weather. So as far as how the timing looks, we're going to start tonight, given that we do have a little bit of wet weather trying to work in around midnight here for some areas in northern Virginia, south of D.C. A little bit more of a drier start aside from 1 or 2 spotty showers still working through. But the main event, if you want to call it that, is going to be starting to work in towards the afternoon hours. So by about 2, 3 o'clock, we're starting to get some isolated clusters working in. You can see a lot of that activity is holding up to the north in the meantime, but that slowly starts to drift down towards the south. Right around 5, 6 o'clock, looking pretty messy out there in the skies. A pretty decent scattered line of showers and storms is going to be working through. And that continues to roll across the area and slow down a little bit as it works through as we head throughout the rest of the evening. But by 10 o'clock, most of that is starting to work out. By midnight, most of us are at least back on the dry side. Wednesday is not out of the woods with the rain chances, though, just quite yet. We're going to see a few more storms try to pop up towards the evening. Winds are going to be the big thing to watch out for. We're looking at a pretty moderate risk of seeing some strong to damaging winds. 30% outlook for most of the area, up to a 45% outlook for a few of us towards the northwest. And there is also the chance of seeing an isolated spin-up tornado. It's a non-zero risk, and some areas towards the northeast will be looking at a slightly higher chance of seeing that work in. Again, Wednesday is still going to have a couple pop-up scattered showers and storms work by, but after that, everything clears out. So we should be looking pretty nice towards the end of this week. Humidity will also do the same. So of course we see those levels go up when it rains a lot. Today should be looking pretty nice. Thursday and Friday look a little better. Saturday we start to see those numbers climb up, but again, not really to the point that it really makes things feel super humid outside. So as we go throughout today, enjoy it, because by tomorrow we are going to have a weather impact alert, given that chance of seeing some heightened storms work into the area. Saturday still has an on and off chance, but regardless, for those next 2 days, I would make sure that you have ways of getting weather alerts to your phone. I know we had a couple instances over the weekend as well, so it's super important, of course, in these summer setups to have ways of staying alert. But by Thursday into Friday, pretty nice. Temperatures dropping down into the low 80s. There will be some spots who only make it into the upper 70s. Saturday still looking pretty nice to start off the weekend. By the time we head into Sunday, temperatures trying to warm back up to the mid 80s with a mixture of sunshine and clouds.